Hello, hello, awesome people of the world. I hope everyone's doing absolutely fantastic out there and you're having a great day. As we're going to talk about some more stuff going on in the crypto world tonight. We're going to talk about XLM, some news out there, and crypto in general. There's just so much going on. Very good news, and this is what we want to see going on out there. With that, please remember to hit those likes, give me some comments, and subscribe if you already haven't subscribed to the channel. Now, before we get started, and hold on for a minute, I am going to bring myself up close and personal here because this is too important. Before we get started, I want everyone to really listen. If this is the only thing you take from this video, please share this with folks. There are a lot of people getting caught up in scams out there. And I know many of us mention this. I mention it as often as I can. Practically, look, we have to slow down. These are the scams that are going on. One that I've heard of, SIM swaps. Okay, basically where they take control of your phone, take control of your number, and pretend like they are your identity. Okay, so without going into the technicals, on your phones, protect your phones, lock your number. I don't know what platform, what vendor you're with, whether it's Verizon, AT&T, Google, whatever the case is, lock that number down. Make sure you have SIM swap protection. Okay, very important. All right, you can't do anything if someone gets control of your number and gets control of your data. That's big. That can be a huge problem. All right. Secondly, have 2FA turned on everywhere. Right now, what you need to do, stop this video, then come back. Go out, make sure you have 2FA turned on all of your devices, preferably with an authentication device, Google Authenticator, YubiKey, something to have a secondary authentication measure. So you have to authenticate beyond just your login. Okay, very, very important. Lock your email accounts down. Do not save anything within your email accounts. It would be proactive step to have a different email account associated with your exchanges, with some of your other crypto stuff, but do not put passwords out there. Do not put passphrases out there. Go out there right now and change all of your accounts, lock them down, and turn 2FA on, please. It is not worth it. We are so close to a finish line to having significant amounts of profits possibly being made. Lock it down. Take the time now to do that and move your stuff to cold storage. Because a lot of these instances where things are happening, it's because it's on the exchanges and they get hold of your exchange account somehow and they move all of your assets off of the account. All right. Please take the time to do that. I just wanted to take the first few minutes here up close and personal. Really think about that. Now, let's get into the news and some of the things going on in this environment. Let's take a listen here to what Edelman says here and what is going on. Everyone's philosophy is changing. If you've been here for a while, years and years ago, it was don't get near crypto with a 10-foot pole. And then it was maybe put 1% in. But listen to this. And this is the wave of change that's going on as institutions are starting to come on board. People's thought processes are changing as well as yours should too. If you are brand new to this environment and the channel, thank you. But brand new to this environment, you are early. Very, very early. Now let's take a listen to what this gentleman has to say here.
I said most mere mortals allocate 1% to Bitcoin. And the reason that I said that is that back in 2021, even though Bitcoin was at that point 10 years old, we didn't know what its future was. It was a highly aggressive speculative bet. And my attitude was the outperformance potential was there, but so were the risks. That was 2021. You fast forward now to 2025, just 4 years later, and what do we discover? We have an administration that is completely supportive of crypto. We also, by extension of this new paradigm in Washington, we now have the opportunity for TradFi. We're seeing for the first time ever, banks and brokerage firms are allowed to trade and custody crypto. They've never been able to do that before. So it's a massive change that you're going to see by Wall Street engaging in this asset class in a brand new way. I'm anticipating we're going to see trillions of dollars flowing into this asset class over the next 4 years. It's going to put Bitcoin at $500,000 by the end of the decade, in my view.
You are now saying that folks should be allocating 10 to 40% of their portfolio to crypto.
I'm arguing if you're a conservative investor, 10%, moderate, 25%, and if you're an aggressive investor, 40%.
So which one of those are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? That's the choice for you to make, not financial advice, but we can see here it's the shift in the thought process. There's a paradigm shift with folks and their appetite to get into this environment. Here on this channel, we're more concerned with, we invest in real use utility coins like XRP, XLM, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, ISO 222 coins. No shade on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is phenomenal for a store of value. If you're just coming into the game and you want Bitcoin, absolutely. The return on the values that on value there is not with Bitcoin, in my opinion, but it just depends on your financial appetite. Again, what's your risk appetite? Moderate, conservative, or are you fully aggressive? Drop it in the comments for me. It'd be interesting to know.
Said most mere mortals.
Stop that again. All right, Stellar, XLM, another one of those projects that I talk about often. I do like Stellar. I've had Stellar for a while. I've been stacking those bags up. Here is another partnership breaking Visa ads support for PY, USD, USDG, and EU RC stablecoins. Stellar and Avalanche join Ethereum and Solana now for on-chain settlement with Visa. This is the theme, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is changing. We're seeing these credit card companies now, and they've been working, you've got to believe, for years and years in the background, preparing for this moment. But good news for Stellar. It's another win. And we're going to continue to keep eye on this. Remember, previously, Stellar's also integrated with MasterCard. And they're a network partner with MasterCard, as well as earlier this year, back in June, remember, WireX joins the Stellar ecosystem. So all of these institutions, including all these payment cards, are now jumping on board and becoming very, very aggressive in this environment because they see the potential and where the future is going, and they don't want to be left behind. Remember, we've talked about it's competition out there. They're not going to sit idly behind and get swallowed by all these new payment infrastructure environments that are going on. They're going to jump in, and that's going to allow that flywheel to really start to move. And as we have laws that start to cement this environment in the United States and worldwide, all of this utility is going to start to come on chain. And speaking of utility and things going on, we're going to talk about tokenization, but this coming out from the SEC chairman today. So we're going to read through some of this, but basically what he's doing, he has stated that he is launching Project Crypto, a commission-wide initiative to modernize the securities rules and regulations to enable America's financial markets to move where? On chain. That is tokenization, and we're going to see that here in a minute. But again, he defines in here, talking about President Trump and us getting and signing in the Genius Act into law, ensuring that America will continue to lead in government payments with a gold standard stablecoin regulatory framework. Nice choice of words there. Upon signing the Genius Act into law, I was pleased that President Trump endorsed congressional efforts to pass crypto market structure legislation by the end of this year. Again, he says here, that is why I am launching Project Crypto and directing the SEC's policy divisions to work with the Crypto Task Force led by Commissioner Peirce to swiftly develop proposals to implement the PWG's recommendations. Project Crypto will help ensure that the United States remains the best place in the world to start a business, develop cutting-edge technologies, and participate in capital markets. We will reshore the crypto businesses that fled our country. The SEC is coming fully behind crypto, and we know that there are a whole line of ETFs that are racked and stacked and ready to be approved. Deadlines for XRP, Solana, and a couple other ones are around the October timeframe, and we are getting close. So in my belief, what the SEC is doing now is they are structuring the environment to make sure they understand the rules and they have the rules, the roadway laid out in front of them as they start to approve everything in the coming months. And this is what we talked about yesterday with regards to the SEC making the rule also about in-kind ETPs, ETFs, and approval for those for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what that means is also loosening up the requirements for approval of ETFs if there's already an ETF in the market that has had future contracts in it for more than 6 months. We talked about this yesterday, but this is absolutely huge because basically it's a measuring stick like XRP that already has XRP futures ETFs. If they've been around for 6 months, they then can easily be modified to be a spot ETF. And you know, we've seen the Bitwise ETF, which was approved and then quickly rescinded, and we haven't heard anything about that since then. But let's take a listen to this and basically what they're discussing with regards to the SEC and the structure change as far as the rules around ETFs.
Maybe they're just waiting to get their guidance for ETF approvals in general together before they start sweeping, doing individual ones, and we're probably going to get just this major sweep. Well, I mean, once they have that guidance, and if you follow these rules, you're approved, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you see the guidance came out yesterday? Pretty much.
There you go.
Yeah. So, and just I don't know if people have caught that, but that was, in fact, almost bigger news than the options. Basically, if the coin has futures connected to it that trade on Coinbase derivatives
for 6 months,
for 6
right?
months, you can be ETF-able. So all the usual suspects are in. There's about 15 coins, I think, that will be approved based on that guidance. So look for September, October, about 10 new coins coming out.
Again, September, October. Ladies and gentlemen, it is July 31st, 2025. Today, we start August. Tomorrow, things are heating up. Besides the weather is hot, but the crypto market is heating up, and we're seeing all these dominoes line up for a phenomenal end of Q3, Q4 blow up with regards to these crypto markets. And also from the SEC, Chairman Paul Atkins says Wall Street and Silicon Valley companies are lined up at the doors with requests to tokenize. We have spent much time here on this channel talking about tokenization and how they are literally going to tokenize everything. And all the big players are lined up just waiting for that approval. How much could be tokenized? From our man Smoke out there on X, Give me a follow on X also if you haven't, but the SEC is starting the initiative to move all markets on chain. That has been the theme tonight that we're discussing. Everything is going to be moving on chain in one fashion or the other fashion. We've got the credit cards that are moving on chain. We're seeing movement from the institutions. We know they want to tokenize. Here's the tokenization total addressable markets. Global debt, $187 trillion. Real estate funds, $20 trillion. Private equity, $7 trillion. Securities, $42 trillion. And trade finance, $12 trillion, for a total of $268 trillion of possible tokenization that can come on these assets, these technologies that you and I own. That's going to bring all that capital and usage into the environment, which is going to mean equates to price go up. And that's what we're here for. We understand that, but very, very exciting. And that's why it's very important that we just continue to be patient and we watch what is going on. And I'm going to continue to bring the latest information, and we're going to talk about that system, that exit strategy. You have to have a system in place. What are you going to do if you decide to take some capital off of the table because you've been sitting in these markets for a while? You got to think about taxes. You've got to think about what you're going to do with that capital afterwards. All things that we've been talking about on this channel, but you got to have that system down. You got to have your plan and your strategy ready to go to ensure that when it happens, you understand how to exit. And that's the plan. And we're all going to make it across this finish line. Just remember, be safe, be smart. Don't answer any scammers. Talk what I talked about in the beginning. Check your phones. Make sure your phones are locked. Everything, as much security posture as you can possibly have, please implement it today, because I can't wait, because one day we are absolutely going to party on the most beautiful beaches of the world together. With that, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, Zip is out.